RMBI gene, here to take you on another level and new horizons.
Hey everybody, my name is Reggie Maddox. I host the Simply Straight Talk show, and thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. Now, please leave a like, subscribe, a comment, let me know what you think about the video, and share it with other people. Now, one of the things I just want to kind of talk about real quick is the fact that, have you seen all these commercials out now about all these companies who's giving away 1 million here, 800,000 here, 500,000 there? It's like all of these companies have all this money and they're being so generous right now. And they're talking about, oh, we're gonna provide for the homeless who can't wash their hands. You know, they got millions of dollars for that. So it's like the things they're coming up with, all of this money, I'm like, why couldn't you come up with this money from before? Why is it now you guys are advertising all of this money you're spending? You guys are promoting all of this money. And it's just really crazy that now all of a sudden there's so much money to spread around. Everybody has money. But before this, none of you had money. None of these corporations was giving the money like this. So my point is this. It feels to me like these companies are using this coronavirus pandemic as a way to get emotional response from their consumers. Oh, Kia gave this much money, so you know what? I think I'll buy a car from Kia. Oh, this company waived their delivery fees. I guess I will go and order food from them. Everybody's so-called doing things, and they're promoting it. They're advertising. They're bragging about it. You know what I'm saying? They're bragging about it. But they're not showing you what they did. They're just telling you that they gave this huge sum of money to help this huge sum of money to help these homeless people who can't wash their hands. This huge sum of money for people who can't do this. And that's what get me. It's like, if you really cared about all this stuff, why wouldn't you been doing it in the beginning? Why would you wait till now? Why wouldn't you just been doing it naturally from the get-go? But it just goes to show this is America. It's all about money. It's all about money. So all of these companies right now who before the coronavirus was struggling and hurting for money, now they just got tons of money. They're just buckload rich with money to donate and throw everywhere. I'm just saying, that's just my view of all this. Because all these commercials about these companies giving away millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars was never out before this. Because my thing is, if you want to do it, do it. Don't advertise that you're doing it to get a consumer response. Do it. And all of these car commercials, you know, right now people are losing their jobs. Who wants to buy a car? Who's even thinking about buying a car? You know what? For all of you car dealerships who are complaining, who are advertising buying cars, and you're giving away millions of dollars, why don't you give away cars? Why don't you pay for people's gas? You know what I'm saying? Put that money somewhere more useful instead of this imaginary hand washing thing you say you're doing. You know, it's just, it just gets me to how people can turn something that being classified as a serious issue of life and death for people into an emotional consumer. We're the corporation that love us, that loves you. Support us, buy a car, you know, and all the rest of them, loans, all of them. That just bothers me. Next up, this Surgeon General guy. Listen, I saw the interview he did, and there's debates on both sides. You know, some people saying, you know, well, black people get mad if you don't say something, they get mad if you do say something. Here's the issue with why I take issue with what he said. You know, it just seems like when it comes to black people, you have all these politicians who are so disconnected from the black community until election time, until they need votes. And then when they get on their little platform and on national TV platform, they like to single out black people, and I don't know why. Because, if you want to tell people, that, hey, listen, we need African Americans to be more conscious about their health, about their eating. To me, that's an America thing. That's a human thing. That's not a black thing. And it just gets me that this guy has the nerve to get on stage, get on this national televised news conference and single out black people and Hispanics. So you're trying to say white people not fat, white people don't have diabetes, white people don't do drugs, white people don't drink. So I think that's the thing, and I think that's what bothers people. It's like you could have worded that so differently. In my opinion, you could have just said, listen, we need everyone to be really conscious about what their grandparents and the elderly people eat, how it affects them. We need to be careful about that. That way you cover everybody. You sending a message to everybody. But when you talk about Big Mama and Pop, I don't understand that. What's the purpose of even saying that? You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to be following the same guidelines to stay healthy. Are you trying to say that black people have a different health guideline than white people? It just bothers me. And y'all heard me rant about these black politicians who get on this national platform. Now, all of a sudden, they want to be pro-black. I'm speaking for the people, but you don't engage with black people until you're on a national TV camera talking about them. And I think that's the issue. As far as I'm concerned, that Surgeon General can suck a dick. I'm just being honest with you. He can go suck a dick. But apparently he's sucking Trump's dick. And it just bothers me that they do that. I would rather see a black person who's in touch with the community, who's active within the community. If you got on a platform and made a comment like that, I really wouldn't have nothing to say, because I can say, you know what? Him or her is actually in the African American community neighborhoods. They're in the African American community clinics. They're working with the African Americans to resolve this issue, if you're saying it's an issue. But when you're so distant and disconnected, how am I supposed to see you as being this person that I'm supposed to look up to? No, I don't. I really don't. So that Surgeon General is basically just tap dancing. He's tap dancing to impress Trump. He don't have his own mind. He don't have his own thoughts. He can't think. As far as I'm concerned, you're not even a man. You know what I'm saying? You're a boy. All right? Now go put your leash back in Trump's hand. And it's just stuff like that bothers me. Because people were hurting long before this. People are just hurting more now because of the situation. Some of us are blessed to where you're still able to go to work, still able to be able to live. But there are other people who are actually struggling because they don't have income coming in. The rent is due. Every apartment complex is not trying to let you stay there. So people are struggling. And it's tough. It's tough. But what can you do? You just got to keep going. And when these politicians get elected in and stuff like that, you just got to be careful who you elect in. Just because they black don't mean they're the best person for the job. Just because they white don't mean they're the best person for the job. You know what I'm saying? You need to find, if you're going to elect somebody into an office, you need to make sure that they're in touch with the community. They're in touch with what's going on with the people. Not just with books, not just with other politicians or corporations, that they are in touch with the people. And normally those people don't get elected. It's the one that's in touch with the corporations because they have more influence. But with that being said, I'm just keeping it 100, man. I'm just saying what some people out there are probably already thinking, already saying. I'm just giving you the honest feedback. I think the Surgeon General is a piece of crap. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no respect for the dude. And I know some people feel like it shouldn't be a big deal. To me, it is a big deal. Especially when black people just feel like when they get to this certain money status, like we have to disconnect ourselves from our own community in order to impress people that don't even care about us and don't even like us. You know what I'm saying? So you'll say anything on a national platform. You mean to tell me you can't take time out of your schedule to go visit a African American community, sit there and talk to them, help them understand health things? You know what I'm saying? When you become attached to the community and you recognize what's going on within the communities, have you done anything? They talk about eating healthy. Are you putting grocery stores with affordable health food options in those communities to where people can afford them? You want to know why people go to McDonald's rather than the grocery store? Because it's cheaper. You want to know why people buy a big bag of Fritos and Doritos potato chips versus apples, cherries, oranges, and that type of stuff? Because it's cheaper. A bag of cherries, depending on the weight, normally will run you about $10 to $12. $10 to $12. Orange juice costs you what? Almost what? $3 to $5, depending on the type and the brand. But you can get a pack of Kool-Aid for what? 25 cents, 15 cents, depending on where you get it. You want people to stay away from sugar, but the sugary items are cheaper and last longer. Everybody can't go on the fire can't afford to buy oranges and apples, things that are spoiled if you don't eat them, or certain perishables, as they call them. If you don't eat them a certain amount of time, they can't afford it. It's not that people don't like fruit and vegetables; they can't afford it. It's too expensive. You said buy the fresh organic stuff. People can't afford that. It comes in smaller amounts and there's less of it. Some people will buy the frozen. You said, well, don't buy the can because it's too much salt. But some people, that's what they can afford. Those are the things you need to be working on to help people in those communities where you feel like heart disease, diabetes, and all that stuff is an issue. Work with the grocery store and the food chains to create a lower price margin so that stuff is more affordable. So y'all just work my nerves. But anyway, y'all know I keep it real, man. So that's it for this little segment. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Simply Straight Talk Show. There's a new episode dropping this Friday coming up. Make sure you check it out. And with that being said, y'all have a good day. Y'all be blessed. Be safe. And I'll see y'all in the next video and the next podcast. I'm out.
Let him revitalize you. It's time to tune in. This here's so fire. Empower your voice to inspire. Yeah, R&B Jim.